Well, hello there again. My name is Bill Merrell, and I'm here with my little program called Teaching You the Things That You Usually Don't Learn. All right. Today we're going to be doing some interesting topics about the Civil War. The Civil War is one thing that we learn about, as we learn usually in history and geography, we learn by presidents, rivers, and wars. This is not going to be too much different than that because of the fact that the Civil War did teach us a lot and in fact brought up a lot of things that still bother us today. If we can go to the first slide, the color glasses, all right, that was used during the Civil War were in fact used to treat disorders and illnesses. All right, those illnesses and disorders were in fact brought to us in light because of the fact they didn't know how to treat these things. For example, the yellow tinted glasses were used to treat social diseases, the blue for insanity, the pink for depression, all right, and thus we get the term seeing the world through rose-colored glasses, which supposedly made you feel happy after you wore them. The next topic that we have is through many decades prior to the Civil War, the doors in your homes were in fact very small. It was basically made just so you could walk through them. During the Civil War, because of the fact that most people, whenever they passed away, they had the services at their house, they in fact had to figure out how to get the body through the door. So what they did was they expanded the width of the door now to its usual 36 inches. During the Civil War also brought us a couple other problems. So many men died, and we'll see a frame here a little bit later, over 600,000, which in fact brought the social norms of the period to in fact cause a problem. The mourning period for a wife during the Civil War was about 2.5 years. That meant no parties, no going out, no adventures with the family, etc. But unusual, it was the men who sort of got away free because they came back, and if their wife had passed away, their mourning period lasted only 3 months. All right, so they could in fact get remarried and things because this was supposedly the proper thing to do. The next slide we have is Mary Virginia Wade, who in fact was the only civilian who was in fact killed during the Battle of Gettysburg. She was in fact shot through the heart while she was doing some baking. All right. This, in fact, was, as I said, the only civilian death made at that time. We always think about the Civil War being fought in the South or up to Gettysburg, but in fact that wasn't necessarily the case. The furthest north a Confederate force ever went was to Vermont. And they went to Vermont, as you see by the slide, coming out of Norfolk, going up through Canada, and then coming back from heading south. Like I said, one of the things that I've always thought was, you know, Gettysburg was sort of the high water mark, and that wasn't necessarily the case. After the war, after any war,